Yo, YouTube. It's 12. Mike, first one in here. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you, bud. Glad you are the first one in here. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, message me, man. Let me know how everything's going. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Can everybody hear me? Everything working okay? Um, yeah. Let's see. Let's build up a little bit. We'll talk about kind of what went down yesterday. I wasn't able to go live yesterday because I traveled. I had to fly out, and we were flying across the country and stuff. And by the time I got home, it was way too late. So I had to push the live stream till today. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize. Um, Text product Michael Edwards in the house. What's going on, man? What's going on, Mike? The mic's in the house. We're working my hydration here for a second. Ugh. Text Pro says a stronger Mike is here, though. Yeah, Mike was already in here. Mikey. Yeah. Um, how's everybody doing? Let's let this build up a little bit. How's everybody doing today? You guys fill me in. What are you up to? Kiror1, what's up, man? Says hello. How's it going? So you guys might notice, I don't know, those of you guys that are hardcore followers of the stream, you guys might see something different right now. What is the difference? Do you guys notice a difference right now that you can see? Do you guys see anything different? Come on. I feel like I need to turn this a little bit. Hey, there we go. You guys are starting to see it. We have repotted Chave. New pot. Chave is upgraded to a bigger house, a bigger pot. He's a growing boy. We gave him a new pot. Bridget already put the new stickers on, the little flexi arms. So Chave is in a way bigger pot now. It's damn near double the size. So I expect him to grow into his new pot and be happy there. Chave grew some arms, right? Exactly. What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, Paul Strength in the house? What's up, dude? Stronghold 07.x. What's up, Lagia? Do you know when Brian will upload his stuff? I don't. They said soon, so I don't know, and I don't know if he's gonna do it in order. I'm not sure in which, if he'll do it in the order we filmed him or if he'll do it in a separate order. You and Brian look very alike. Yeah, super. I got hair, Brian. Eric Nelson, what's up? Muscle up guy. How's it going? Veronica Knight in the chat. Shave looking beast. Yep. I'm just saying we upgraded him. He's been upgraded. So you guys will start to notice. So Bridget's making the thumbnails right now for the YouTube channel. So you guys are going to start noticing Shave in the thumbnails. Keep an eye out for it. The Brian Shaw interview was dope. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the podcast, he released the podcast. So he has two different channels, right? There's Shaw Strength, which is like kind of the main channel of all the workouts and stuff, and then there's Shaw Strength Podcast, which is a separate YouTube channel. He released that video of Brian and I doing the podcast. So if you guys want to see a little bit of content of us hanging out and just chopping it up for about an hour, mostly it was about my story. Mostly it was Brian, like, getting to know me and what I went through and how I got to where I'm at and just that type of stuff. And then we chopped it up a little bit, in between there about different things. So it was great to talk to Brian and like to another strength-minded individual, and obviously he's achieved things that, I could only dream to achieve. But it was awesome chopping it up with him on the podcast. So most people are saying they liked it. So I guess so far it's got pretty good reviews. Yeah. Does Brian Shaw have Levon potential? Brian Shaw has all the potential in the world. Finally famous. Who's taller, you or Shaw? I swear I'm taller, guys. I swear I am. I think I have a half inch on him. But he was making fun of me because my hat, my hair, and stuff. He thinks it's just that. So it were definitely close, but I think I got him by a little bit. Finished the podcast, and then this started. Oh, good, Blake. Thank you for watching that. I appreciate that. Joe Nilo in the house. What's up, my boy? My boy, you guys, we're at 20 likes. Can we get a like spike and boost that up? I'd appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up. If you guys are on mobile, please exit out the live chat, hit the thumbs up, bring the live chat back up so we can get the algorithm to grab onto this live stream a little better. Okay, so the first day one, we filmed. I go out there, everything's awesome. On my last video, I recapped it, but we filmed basically an hour or so, or a little over an hour, I think, of just table time and table technique. Not really getting into a workout on it, just technique stuff. Then we film about another hour of use certain handles to target your hand and wrist, or his hand and wrist, and how to use the handles he was given to by Arm Assassin Strength Shop by Lucas Raymond. So then we got that in, and so that's already like 2 hours of footage. Then we did the podcast for over another hour, so there's 3 hours of footage. And then the next day we had forgot to do strap work. We didn't put the strap on at all. So he wanted to do a grip video of us messing with grip implements, and then we were going to do another video of us arm wrestling the straps, and we were going to kind of get into it a little bit more and hopefully like let him cut loose, basically let him try a little bit harder in the straps and see, test that horsepower out a little bit. So without giving anything away, I mean, I talked to Brian. He kind of wanted to keep a lot of the grip video stuff under wraps, not tell you guys what happened and stuff like that. So sadly, like we directly talked about it. He said, hey, man, just try not to leak anything or tell anybody what happened with the grip video. So to respect Brian, I cannot go into exactly what happened with our grip video. But I know that once we were done filming, James, the guy that films for Brian and helps with the YouTube, James said that was one of the most entertaining videos they've done in a long time over there. So they're really happy with how the grip video turned out. So, and also the grip video was more like, the table one was all instructional, right? So it's basically like if you guys saw me and Larry Wheels, it's basically just like that. I'm talking for damn near 45 minutes, just nonstop, just talking and doing instructional stuff with Brian. Not like super exciting fun, right? The handle video was a little more fun because you get to see Brian interacting with the handles and trying it out and things like that. So a little more entertaining. But the grip video was really just us having a good time, more in Brian's element, and us just cutting loose, having jokes, seeing what I can pick up or what I can't pick up. And so it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing the grip stuff with Brian. And so you guys, that's going to probably be the most exciting video in terms of just entertainment value. But yeah, so that we had a great time with that. Then after we finished the grip video, Brian, I told you I want to get on the straps, get on the table and do the strap work. But sadly, he had some meetings set up because originally we hadn't planned to do a whole separate video for strap pulling. So he hadn't set aside a bunch of time for it, So after we got done with the grip video, I was like, you want to do the strap stuff? He goes, oh, dude, I have meetings. I have like a couple meetings right now I have to go to. He's like, I'm not going to be able to do it. So he ran out of time, which is understandable. He's a busy guy. I totally get it. But so we didn't get on the table. We didn't put on the straps. And I told you guys I was really excited about getting in there and gripping up with him some more table time. But unfortunately, we weren't able to. So we chopped it up for a little bit. Like I said, Brian and Carrie were awesome. They were super hospitable. But sadly, there's no strap footage of us getting on the table. I was hoping, I was praying, I wanted to get more in there. But like I said, the day before when we were doing the technical stuff, there was a few moments where he would gas up. And he told me the next day when we were getting into the grip stuff, my arm's a little beat up. Like he was feeling just us being on the table going over the technical stuff. He was feeling it because we were definitely giving some resistance. And I think there was a few moments in there where he would gas up and go to some level. I don't know if it was 100% or what it was, but he would definitely give it some for like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then stop, so I could kind of feel the power, right? And like I said, I know you guys are going to ask, like, is he strong? Where's he strong? Can he be complete, the best arm wrestler in the world by tomorrow? His strength was really when we got into really comfortable arm wrestling spots, right? Spots that I'm really comfortable in, like in a deep hook or just in a very conventional arm wrestling spots. Then obviously I'm strong there because that's the spots I train to be strong in. And obviously he's never trained to be strong in those spots. So when we get in really deep arm wrestling spots, like then I could feel some give, right? I could feel like, okay, I might be able to stop him, or when he would gas up, I could kind of feel the brakes hitting a little bit. But he was super strong in really unconventional arm wrestling ways, which I mean is kind of to be expected. So when we're going over technique and he would just randomly like drive his shoulder sideways, it was just like, holy God, whoa, stop. Or like, and I could and then I'd have to like force him into an arm wrestling spot, and then it would feel more comfortable. So he was like crazy strong in these unorthodox arm wrestling styles. And then obviously when I get into spots that are like my sweet spot, then I would feel more give. Obviously that's where I'm stronger. So, but yeah, I mean, so much potential. Of course, like to ask if Brian has potential, that's crazy. Yeah, a ton of potential. And one of the weird things about getting a hold of a strong man like that, especially, the strong man, compared to like power lifters and stuff, is that the strongmen are so well-rounded, like in every way. Power lifters generally do squat, bench, deadlift. Yeah, they'll do accessory work and things like that, but they're generally not a ton of forms, not used to squeezing and this way. They're not doing a bunch of different crazy movements. It's more set, right? And so a strong man at that level, he's just a mountain of muscle in every direction. Like it's crazy to get a hold of. It's like getting a hold of a redwood or like an oak tree or something. You just feel it just feels. So yeah, I mean, a ton of potential. That goes without saying. So let's get back in the chat here for a minute. I'm just hyped to see him pulling a huge opportunity for our sport. So I mean, I'll let you guys. He didn't tell me not to say anything, so I'll let you guys a little secret. He texted me today. He texted me today and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna work out in the gym." And he said, "Hey, what are those lifts? Can you break me down with some of those the lifts? Like, what reps and sets to do again?" And he asked for the Colorado arm wrestlers information for like phone numbers and stuff for the local guys. I gave it to him. I gave him reps and sets and what lifts to do to start targeting his wrist. I gave him the phone numbers. Now, not saying that means he's full-time arm wrestler. Not saying that at all. He could just want to be messing around with the angles and stuff and get used to the pressures and stuff. But he asked for the stuff. I gave him the stuff. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm not lying to you guys. There is no behind-the-scenes thing where he told me I'm getting into arm wrestling. Don't tell the world, Derek. Everything you guys saw when he answered that question in my first behind-the-scenes video, that was the same answer he gave me throughout the few days I was there. Just like, yeah, like he really likes it. He really enjoys it. He sees the potential in it. He's not sure yet, hasn't made any decisions. But if he does do it, he's going to want to do it full out and try to beat Levon, basically. So yeah, it's exciting. First super chat of the day. So thank you so much. No One Special 321 with a $5 super chat. Thank you for the support, brother. So really enjoyed hearing your story on Brian's podcast. Didn't realize Ethan was the one who you were initially exposed to. Wish he was still active. Yeah, Ethan, it was amazing, man. Super fast shoulder roller out of Missouri. And yeah, Missouri, right? Yeah. But yeah, I wish Ethan was around too. Last I heard, he's rock climbing somewhere. I haven't talked to him in years, man. It's been probably 2 or 3 years since I talked to Ethan. But yeah, he was the guy that beat my ass and got me into it the beginning. But yeah, if you guys like the podcast, I think went pretty well. Most people, like I said, most people are saying they liked it. So if you guys get a minute and go over there to Shaw Strength Podcast is the YouTube channel and check it out. If some of my moderators, can you guys plug the podcast into the chat? I'd appreciate that. Let's see, where were we at? Does Brian Shaw have the potential to beat Levon? What do you think, Derek? Please reply, brother. Yeah, like I said, he has freaky potential, right? It's all up to him in terms of how fast he learns it and if he falls in love with it. All arm wrestling is like having a work ethic and loving the sport. If you have those two things, especially mixed with Brian's potential and like raw genetics, then I mean, the sky's the limit, man. He's not too old to get stronger. He's 40. It's not like insanely strong. Insanely old, right? So he could definitely make solid gains. He's not too old at all. Man, you're lucky dude getting to play with Big Brian. I am lucky. I was the luckiest guy in the world. I was so hard not to fanboy out the whole time and just be like, I was trying. And I know there's moments where I was like that, and I was trying so hard to control it. I think in the grip video, when you guys watch that, you'll see that like I'm like giddy with excitement. Getting to lift with Brian, not just teaching him stuff, but getting to like try to lift stuff and be competitive with Brian. And I have a lot of fun with it. I might have come across as annoying. I had a lot of energy, but I had a great time. I had a great time with it. So we can expect 2 or 3 videos on his channel. Yes. So they're going to do. Well, they have the podcast. If you count that as one, they have the instructional video, or teaching how to arm wrestle, how to use handles video, and then the grip video. So 4 videos, 3 on the main channel and 1 on the podcast channel, as far as I know. I think they said they're going to edit down the instructional video and the handles video because they're long. They're like an hour, I think they're both over an hour long. And that's a lot. And it's a lot just to hear me talk. I mean, it's cool. And it's going to be awesome for arm wrestlers and people to get into it and like learn some stuff about arm wrestling. But it is me talking and just doing instructional stuff with Brian for an hour. Right. And it's stuff you guys, arm wrestlers have probably heard before. But I mean, just the fact that someone's teaching Brian Shaw arm wrestling is as exciting as it is. But yeah, and hopefully there's some stuff that you guys can take out of that if you are arm wrestlers and help you guys grow some stuff you didn't know. But it's really base level information I was giving him. We're just starting with the basics. We weren't getting too crazy with it because it's day one. But obviously I could speak way more in depth on pretty much every topic, but we're just doing the beginner topics, right? So, man, and we talked about me coming back out there. Brian seemed to like the idea of me coming back out there at some point. And if he had matches, he was saying, he'd want me in his corner, hopefully. And I don't know if he's just gassing me up or if that was serious. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd love to go back out there and work more with him. But he would probably start having some known arm wrestlers or some big names out there to help teach him. I mean, so expect to see some big names if Brian gets into it. Expect to see some big names out there for sure. I would. We will see more when he gets into it. Yes, sir. Brian Shaw equals Gigantor. Yep. Cowabunga. Frank Callan, is he going to go spectate Colorado this week? No, they will be in Cancun. Brad Butler says, awesome stuff, Dick. Of course, everybody would love to see Brian do well, but only after you conquer the arm wrestling world first. Super cool seeing two of my favorite athletes together for sure. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, I told Brian, what did I say at some point? He was walking by me, and I go, it's kind of funny, people wanted me to be like one of the next Brian Shaws in terms of, but for the arm wrestling world, like someone that, an American that goes and starts just upsetting all the Europeans, right? And like goes to that number one spot in the world. And yeah, I said that. I said, there were some people that had hope for me being the Brian Shaw of arm wrestling. And he goes, yeah. And I go, but now we got the actual Brian Shaw. No? I was like, but if you get into it, we have like the actual Brian Shaw in arm wrestling. So, but we'll see. I mean, either way, it'd be awesome to have Brian in here, even if that means I get to beat his ass whenever we come across the table from each other. Cybernetic Module says, sorry, you probably covered this, but what was it like when you asked Brian to give it his all on day 2? He, like I mentioned, we weren't able to. We ran out of time. We filmed the grip video on day 2, and then we were going to get on the table and do the strap work. And then, I don't know, like I said, the original plan, like the days before I even went out there that he had set up, we weren't supposed to do another video on the table. We weren't supposed to do another strap video and all that. So he ran out of time. He had meetings he had to get to. We didn't have time to film another whole video. So we weren't able to get on the table and do the strap work, sadly, because I really wanted to. But yeah, understandable, man. He's a busy dude. He has a lot going on. So sadly, we weren't able to do that. But I don't know. I mean, so all I have to go off of is what we felt day 1, where he was kind of giving it some pressure and stuff like that. And it felt at a really high level, guys. It did. And there's so many threatening angles. He feels so strong, just static strength, just feels like iron. Like he could go wherever he wanted, type of thing, But yeah, I wish I had more for you guys. Sorry about that. Arm wrestling hooker with the HRK 25. What are his arm measurements? So we weren't able to pull out the tape measure, right? That was one of the things I wanted to do in day 2 as well. But I did track him down, and on I'm going to release a vlog. I got behind the scenes footage yesterday of us doing the grip stuff. I got to make sure there's nothing in there that gives away what the grip video is. That's why I haven't uploaded it yet. I kind of got to go through the footage a little bit because, like you said, he wanted to keep it pretty much under wraps. So the whole video is released on his channel, which is totally fine. But I tracked him down. I said, give me that hand. We measured hands. And I said, give me that arm on the table. And we measured arm length. So I got that for you, just comparing it to mine. But we didn't pull out a tape measure and measure wrists and stuff like that. Sadly, I wanted to do that because I know you guys want the measurements, his wrist measurement, things like that. So we did measure wrist, but his wrist is thicker than mine. Mine is a little bit over 8 inches around. And so I'm guessing Brian's is maybe like 8.5, 8 3/4. It's a thick ass wrist. So somewhere around there. But we didn't actually measure it. Podcast is great. Great story, man. Thank you, Efren. I appreciate that. Chase V says, is there any footage of day 2 pulling? No. Almost the same height as you. Yeah, I think I got him. Texas Prawn is sharing the podcast link right there, you guys. If you guys get some time, you want to sit down and listen to my story, and me and Brian Shaw chop it up for a little bit, that's the link right there. Pawan Sharma says, hey, Derek, when is your next match? Don't know. But I am motivated. I'm motivated right now. After the Dave Chafee thing, like Dave Chafee giving me those shout outs, and after getting in the gym with Brian and seeing somebody that is just known for working hard and getting it done, I am motivated. Like right when I get done with you guys here, I'm going to the gym, and I'm excited to get back into it. I've taken a little, few weeks hiatus from the gym. Really excited to get back in it and start putting in that extra work. I'm motivated again, and I didn't have anything set, no set plans or set dates. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into it and set a goal for a match. So back in the gym today, right when I get off here with you guys, back in the gym. Tim Breslin got into arm wrestling at 40 as well. Yeah. You think Tim was 37. He was older. Either way, he was in his late 30s. Is Brian Shaw the strongest non-arm wrestler you pulled? Yes. Brian Shaw is the strongest non-arm wrestler I pulled. Yeah. Bridget, my lady, she just left while I was here live with you guys. She just walked out the door. I have to go do some stuff for the day, but she's posting the link tree in there, you guys. Those are all the links that go to my social media and or go to any of my sponsors right there. They have the discount codes and whatnot. So if you guys want to check any of that out. Also, she posts a link to the arm wrestling, the awswitch.com, which is the clothing site that Bridget launched and myself. You know, I'm more give her like more makes it happen. I try to be the idea guy, and she's the one that makes it happen. So, but you guys will see some of the shirts and things we've been working on. Hats like this, my Alpha Empire team hat. The stickers, the Chave Davey stickers, my team stickers that are like on my jug here. Talk to me, Chave. More team stickers. So it's hats, stickers, and shirts. But if you guys want to go check that out, I really appreciate any support of you guys buying any of the stuff. But yeah, check out that link and check out the little website. We're building it. We're building it. If you guys have any awesome ideas for shirts, something like that, I'd love to hear it too. Shirts or stickers or hats or designs. Matthias says, you're doing a great job, Derek. Getting to train Brian is going to do wonders for the arm wrestling world all over the world. Big stuff, sir. Yeah, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand how filming with Brian can help me on a personal level, you know, with subscriptions and stuff like that. But, like, it's for the community, man. Like, if you guys follow me, you know, like, I am an arm wrestler, and my whole life is dedicated to the arm wrestling community. Not because I plan to be some giant rich dude. But because I love the sport and I love the community, man. It's my community, it's our community. So I knew how big of a deal this could be, and I was telling Brian about it, and so yeah, it was an opportunity that there's no way I could pass up at all. So yeah, I mean, like, I hope that Brian gets into it. I hope that he brings 10,000 new arm wrestlers or sponsors to the sport. Like, man, there's a lot of potential for sure. What's your best cheat curl PR? Cheat curl PR, standing cheat curls. I did 245 for a set of 15 standing cheat curls at Michael Todd's house. We went over there. We had me, Michael Todd, and Corey West had a cheat curl competition. I got 245 pounds for 15 reps, but it was cheaty, super cheaty. Huz says, "Yo, D-Dog, been a while since I caught a live. Glad to see you having fun with Brian. Been following that guy for a while. Love listening to the podcast between." You two, looking forward to more content. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Damien, unfortunately, I thought the podcast was really good. Dalton Klein Peter says, looking forward to all the videos, sir. He beat Khalid. Now, honestly, like, that would be Brian has spent 1 hour on a table and mostly just talking, not really getting into anything. If you give Brian a solid month of table time, not just getting there and instructional stuff, but really getting into it and going through the motions and starting to develop, say, with his standard, the muscles he has right now, right? Not really developing new muscles, but just learning how to use them on an arm wrestling table and learning how to go sideways and stay tight and exploit hands. Just a solid month of 2 to 3 times a week, just getting on the table and just putting in work on an arm wrestling table. Like, oh man, I mean, he already has as strong, if not stronger hand than Khalid. It's about the same size, and I just think he has more everything else than Khalid. So he has to learn how to arm wrestle though first, guys. So it's hard to say, yeah, Brian beats Khalid. When Brian learns how to arm wrestle, Brian beats Khalid. I'll say that. When he learns how to arm wrestle. Yeah. Street Statics says Chafee got upgraded. Yes, sir. Yep. Brian Shaw versus Larry Wheels, who wins? Larry right now, because Larry's been arm wrestling and he understands more than Brian in terms of like being able to isolate Brian's arms and stuff. But I'm telling you guys, once he learns how to use what he has, it'll be over. So hopefully he starts getting on the table. Oh, hope to God. Do you think Brian could be on North American rankings in a year's time or even less? Right now, anybody that will grab up with Brian will feel nervous as shit. I'll tell you that much. I don't care who you are. The moment you grab Brian's arm, you're like, ooh, okay. There's a lot. There's a lot there. He'll make anybody nervous. But like I keep saying, guys, yeah, you could say within a year, if that year went perfect, if Brian Shaw arm wrestled 3 times a week and start, like if he did everything perfect, if we had a perfect year and he's learning as fast as possible, like he's learning like a genius level, it's snapping in, he's figuring it out right away. Like everybody, I can't tell you how fast he'll learn, how fast he'll implement what he learns, how fast he'll get comfortable, like that's up in the air. So if he had the most optimal year possible, could he make some people super nervous or in the top 20, like, 10th through 20th or 15th through 20th? Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think right now he walks in, he wins any amateur tournament he does in super heavyweights for sure. And even on a state level, places top 3 on a, Colorado State Championship, it's all Coloradoians, and he enters a super heavyweight class, he's getting top 3. I'm thinking, and that's just based off just doing this, and just pretty basic movements. Yeah. What's the highest number COC gripper you've closed? My 3.5. I have a 3.5 here. I've closed it a bunch of times. I haven't gotten it rated, so I don't know what it really is rated at, but I've closed my 3.5 a bunch of times. And that's with a deep set, not a credit card set. So it's not like official. Brian's experience in taking PEDs, which sets a good foundation for a top arm wrestler. Potentially. We didn't talk at all about any of that. So I have no idea about what he doesn't take anything like that. Brian Shaw versus Larry Wheels would be good. Oh, it'd be good to watch for sure, especially if Brian gets into sport. His strength is comparable to which arm wrestler, like above average, like Larry Wheels, or below. Okay, strength. Brian told me he hasn't hit pure biceps in since right when he was just first getting into strongman. He hasn't actually sat down and done pure bicep lifts since then because it just doesn't have a huge carryover for strongman. So in terms of isolating biceps, I bet you Larry Wheels' bicep is stronger than Brian's right now. But everything else is or I don't know, man. It's just apples and oranges. It's this big hulking figure with just power everywhere. And Larry, has a thinner wrist, but he's stronger, but not. Jesus, it's so hard to compare the two. I'd just love to see it when Brian learns how to arm wrestle. I'd love to see what that looks like for sure. And and we talked about that, Brian, and potential height matches. I said I would love to see him and Eddie Hall because everybody loves to see him and Eddie Hall go at it. But Eddie was supposed to have that match with Rob Vigent for a little bit. So I was kind of hoping maybe Eddie kind of got into it now. Maybe if Brian gets into it, he can spark Eddie to get into it. Maybe we get those two actually talking crap and they actually have a real arm wrestling match. I think that would be really cool. But if not, I'd love to see him go against Colin, huge grip guy versus Brian or Larry, things like that at first. It all depends if Brian gets into it or not. If you're talking about just the guy I felt the other day, he doesn't know enough yet, right? But if he, a few months, a year, and just starts getting comfortable on the table, I'd love to see what he can do. Let's see. His strength to compare. Oh, sorry, read that one. Yo, man. Broken Bar says, awesome to see. Met you for a practice when I was working in California for a week. You were super helpful to a newbie like me. Glad it gets you. I'm glad it's you that gets to bring in the big man himself, dude. Yeah, I got super lucky. I don't even know what to say, man. I lucked out. Hobgoblin said, yo, what up, man? Donnie, you versus Marcio or versus Sanders would be competitive. Thoughts? Yeah, I'd love to find out, man. Those guys are super strong. I have a lot of respect for both of them. I would love to try to mix it up with those guys. If you're looking for me to say something like, "I'll smash those dudes," I don't really say that about anybody, but I would love to train and have a match with either one of them. Clerks 93, I met Colin from back when Devin first introduced him versus Shaw. Oh, like day one versus day one? Oh, I think Brian would beat him. Love the content. Keep it up. Thank you, Table Ninjas Productions. I appreciate you, man. The thumbnail game is improving. Now that Bridget is taking the thumbnails under her wing, I make crappy thumbnails. She knows what she's doing. Or she's downloaded the right apps and stuff. She's getting into it. So the thumbnail game is going to start being on point. She's also looking to editing. So now that I have some more help with the YouTube part of it, oh man, we can start, upgrades coming. Yeah, I love her to death. I love to see Brian getting into arm wrestling. It'd be awesome to see him all the king of the tables. Yeah. If Brian, Shaw, and Colin, the only people who lifted the Millennium dumbbell. They both have. Brian was telling me he doesn't have one, but he's lifted it. He saw one at a gym and he lifted it. But I don't know if they're the only two people or not. So Derek, how was Brian's max power? Damn it, I keep answering the same question. Very strong, very strong. Hey, Derek, hope you're well. Hey, Michael, what's going on? Josh Brooker, did you measure Brian's hand and wrist? I did not. A guess at his wrist size would be maybe 8.5, maybe a little above 8.5, between 8.5 and 9 inches. Hand size was a little longer than mine, guys. So I thought when we were gripping up, I thought maybe my hand would be a little bigger. But when we put our hands together, his fingers went about that much or more than mine. So not quite half an inch, about that. And his thumb was probably like that on mine. So maybe a half inch, 3/4 of an inch longer on the thumb and a little bit longer on the other fingers, just a little bit. But when we measure tip of elbow to tip elbow, I think we were dead even when we put our elbows down. So I think that means I have a longer forearm and he had a little bit bigger of a hand. Yeah. I have the exact same length as Devin. Remember, so me and Devin have measured. We have the exact same length from tip of elbow to tip of finger when we put our hands down. So Brian was about that, right? Maybe a tiny bit less than, but about that. Was Brian holding back? I don't know. I even asked him because he asked like, what what was my power wise, what you felt, where do you think? So I'm guessing if he asked me power wise or what I felt, in terms of him being a top competitor, I'm guessing he was kind of getting into it. And plus, he said he was a little bit sore the next day. He said, I kind of feel it in my arms, like what we did yesterday. So that makes me think he kind of got into it a little bit. So if that was, we'll say if that was, then he felt really strong in certain spots on his bicep and on specific arm wrestling angles. Because I'm using pronation and cupping, all these complicated things. I'm using 6 muscles while he's using 1 or 2. I'm just gonna be more efficient on the table than him. But yeah, I mean, it's so hard. There's so much that goes into answering that question, guys. I know you guys want a simple blanket answer, but it's not that simple. It's just not. Did you measure Brian Tanner wrist? What I just said. Others have lifted the Millennium Dumbbell, but they are most recent to lift it, says Brandon Kawaloa. How do you feel on day 2? We weren't able to get on the table. I know I'm sad. I really want to get on the table day 2, but he had meetings to get to. Kara 1 says, now that you'll get new fans coming from his channel, maybe it's time to start uploading more videos, training, structural, etc., to keep the interest going. You are right. You are correct, sir. Fat chicks love you. What's the closest club to Brian? I believe the closest person to Brian is Isaac Luna, which is in Denver, which is 30 minutes away from his house. So as far as I asked a few Colorado arm wrestlers, and they said Isaac's the closest in Denver at 30 minutes away. I don't know who else Isaac has on his team, who else he trains with, but I gave Brian Isaac's phone number in case he wants to reach out to him. So Isaac, if you're watching this, you might just get hit up by the world's strongest man, or 4-time world's strongest man. What's your 1 rep max wrist curl? With what? With a dumbbell, with a wrist wrench, with this and that on a pulley system. We talk about free weight. Like it's not simple answers. I don't have simple answers for things like that. I'm sorry. REJ would rip through Eddie, says Clear 93. Probably. I would hope so. But he didn't even upload the first video yet. I know. He just put up the podcast. I'm waiting. I'm guessing. I'm wondering if they're going to put, because I know they're going to edit heavily. They're going to edit heavily probably the instructional video and the handles video. Because it was long, it could be a little bit boring for viewers. So I feel like they're going to try to chop that down. I was talking to James, the YouTube guy that runs Brian's channel, and he was like, we'll feel it out. We'll watch it. We'll kind of see, how much we can condense it. He's like, maybe I'll get down to 30 minutes. It was an hour of me talking. Maybe we'll get down to 30 minutes. He's not sure. If he likes it, it could stay up at 45, 50 minutes. He's not sure. He's going to kind of mess with the footage. The grip video, though, this is why I wouldn't be surprised if the grip video comes out first. Because the grip video was pretty much one take. It's not going to take too much editing at all. And it was way more entertaining. We're having fun. We're laughing. So it would make sense that he might be able to get the grip video out first, which we actually filmed the second day, before the arm wrestling stuff. But I'm not sure exactly. They didn't tell me exactly how they're going to do it. Bring your 3.5 when you come out here, and I'll test it, says Texas Product. Oh, yeah. Where's Chave thumbnails? I put the thumbnail on it. Did I not put the Chave one up? I was rushing. I'm sorry. Yo, he's on there. Yeah, I put the Chave one up. Very informative, as always, Derek, because you don't smash the new guys. That's what keeps them coming back. Definitely great for our sport. Yeah. Nick Van Hoof says, oh, it would be fun to have both of you flying to Dubai to meet up with Larry. Oh, man. I'd love to go back to Dubai. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Maddie Boise says, with your potential, I honestly think you could be the Brian Shaw of arm wrestling world. I'm so glad this collab is happening. Me too, man. Thank you. Robert Crane, he's lifted the Thomas Inch dumbbell with both hands. Yeah. So, I almost just slipped up. In the grip video, there's an inch dumbbell, there's all his blobs, and there's an anvil. I'll tell you that much. You guys have to watch. You have to watch everything else. Pawan Sharma, what's Brian's weight and what's your weight? Brian said he's a bit over 400. I believe he said he's like probably like 410 or somewhere in there. I am about 350. Donnie, so wrist size grows with isolated arm wrestling workouts over time. I mean, yes and no. Brian's never done an arm wrestling workout in his life, and he had a thicker wrist than me. So, or was that genetic? Or is that from him just growing muscles in his forearms and stuff in general through grip? I don't know. Did Brian Shaw seem interested in pursuing arm wrestling professionally? GB19, if you go back and you watch the last video I released, I directly asked him that. I point the camera at him and I go, Brian, all right, arm wrestlers want to know, are you getting into arm wrestling? And you can hear in his response directly. Yeah. I knew I liked you for a reason, Derek. Forearm twin. There you go. Did Brian smell wealthy? I mean, the stuff there looked real expensive, so he definitely has some money. Mention gripping up with you. Anybody's going to be sore the next day. Hey, thank you. Where we at likes? Oh, we're at 100 likes. Nice, or almost 100 likes. Derek, you got our friend for life in Brian. He loved you. Hashtag Americana. Hey, I hope so, man. Like I said, he was texting me this morning, so I hope so. A finger to elbow. I can't remember, to be honest, guys. I can't remember. I mean, you look up Devin's. It's the same as Devin's. Bridget might know. Bridget, do you remember my measurement from elbow to finger? She's good with this stuff. She memorizes everything. Derek, that podcast was amazing. His storytelling with convo skills are off the charts. Thank you, Carolyn. Victor, did you do grip stuff? How was his grip? Yes, I did grip stuff. His grip's amazing. I can't get any more detail than that. That's the one thing he asked for me not to get into the grip video and really say what happened. So I'm definitely going to respect Brian's wishes. And I'll tell you, yes, we did grip stuff. Yes, I did grip stuff. And Brian's grip is ridiculous. When are we going to see Super Shredder Derek? Working on it. Alex McDonald, hey, what's up? Carolyn says, Derek, Brian want to repay you for your kindness and willingness to help him out through with no benefit to yourself. He was touched. Oh, man. I mean, I know I'm benefiting off this. Like, I'm getting viewers and I'm getting subscribers through doing the collab. I get that. And I fully understand what that provided and stuff and how much they helped me out. And I sent Brian like a 2-paragraph long thank you message this morning just for everything. But I mean, at the same time, you guys, like, I'm hyped for the sport. I'm so hyped about what Brian can bring to the sport. Like how awesome that is to get a big name like that. There's nobody else. There's nobody. Whenever I've asked any person that follows strength sports, who do you want to see learn how to arm wrestle that isn't an arm wrestler? Everybody says Brian Shaw. It is on everybody. If it's not the first guy, it's the second guy on the list. Always, 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 always Brian Shaw. So that's why it's just like, man, it's a dream come true being able to show him the basics. We just got into the basics, guys. We didn't get super in depth with it, but I show him the basics and the basics ring true, right? There's certain things that ring true about any arm wrestling match, and I show him these things that it doesn't matter how far you get down the rabbit hole, how good of an arm wrestler you become. There's certain things that will always be true, like laws of arm wrestling. So I taught him those, right? And then as you read into those, you can build careers off those rules and those laws. So yeah, so I mean, I gave him a foundation. I helped build a foundation for him. You and Brian look like you have the same size frame. Does looking at him motivate you to get big? I don't do legs, so you got to think. I don't touch my legs. So, and he's been doing legs for a long ass time. So that's a lot of muscle beholding your legs. That's probably a cool 50 pounds. And he just lifts more than me and heavier than me. So even in upper body stuff, shoulders and chest, he's stronger than me. You know, in the arm, I don't know, I got a uniform, you know, I got the cupping, not the grip strength, the cupping and stuff. I can hang with Brian and some of that stuff. But yeah, in terms of like everything from shoulder here, he still has me on, and he has legs. So I'm 350 without legs, and I've only been benching like a year and a half, and like it's, you know, yeah. But I don't know. I'll never want to get over 400 pounds. I don't want to put that much pressure on my heart if I can help it. Derek, when are you going to come to Connecticut? Man, let me know. Michael, set it up. Hit me up. Set up a seminar or something like that. Let me know. You should chop one down and put one. You should chop one down and then put one. That's all the content. Arm wrestling next year, shot classic with you and someone big match. He loves power. Hey, that would be cool. Savage says, Derek, are you going to be in the Modesto when Devin comes up here? No. So Devin, I have no details. I've been getting messages about this already, guys, from Southern California arm wrestlers. If you are a Southern California arm wrestler and you're watching this, I don't know any details yet. Devin is going Modesto. He's going from Modesto, and he's going out. I don't know if this is supposed to be a secret. He's going out to Arizona, and then from Arizona, he's going to come down to Southern California. Now, that's all I know. We talked on the phone. He said he's not sure what he wants to do exactly, or when, or what time he'll be out here, or what he feels like doing. That's all I know. And Devin's going to hit me up when he's out here, and we're going to try to figure something out. Now, that could mean he just wants to go get dinner, and there's no arm wrestling. It could mean I announced some random, quick, giant mega practice. It could be Devin saying, hey, I don't want a lot of people around, just like a couple people. Let's get on the table with like 4 of us and grip up. I don't know what that's going to look like, but it seems like I'll be seeing Devin in Southern California next week. but I don't know what that means exactly, right? So yeah. Let's see. Colorado Sports is getting a huge boost. Oh yeah, dude. If Brian gets involved, yes. You guys were dynamic and dynamite together, Brian and Derek. Carolyn, you're awesome. Thank you so much. No, I mean that. I mean the game. Like, where's Waldo? But where's Chave? Bing bong. Oh, yeah. You guys, when you guys look at the podcast, or when you guys look at the thumbnail, sorry, it's gonna be like, where's Waldo? But with Chave. Where's Chave? Gotcha. If you can, what's your impression? How serious is he about getting in arm wrestling? Somewhat moderate or very interested? He seemed very interested. He seemed very interested. Yeah. I mean, he seemed very interested. Like I said, he's doing some wrist workout today. And yeah, he seemed very interested. Like I said, he didn't give me any behind the scenes answer that I'm not sharing with you guys. He didn't say I'm really going to get into it. Don't tell anybody. He just heard the same answer you guys heard. Like, if I do, I'm going to go all out with it. I'm really interested in it. We'll see what happens. Since I'm 500 pounds, would I be able to beat both you and Brian on the same day? Yeah, probably. A casual 6'8", 410. Yeah, exactly. Game did anvil carry, says Carolyn. It's called an anvil handle. It's shaped like the top, the sharp part of an anvil. It's shaped like that. So you try to hold on to this like pointy thing. Who's the heaviest person you arm wrestle? Well, I arm wrestle people probably heavier than Brian. I don't know people's exact weights, but I imagine Wes Bjornson, I think, is heavier than Brian, I believe. Blake Perry might have been heavier than Brian. I know Blake's pretty heavy. Yeah, I've arm wrestled people that I believe are probably a little heavier than Brian. God, you're so small. I know. Damn, 350 and 410, giant monsters among men. Is Brian Shaw stronger than Bridget? Whoa, no one's stronger than Bridget. Definitely not. Hey, you'll see my little behind the scenes video I'll release, guys. Bridget grabbed the grippers and she was trying the grippers out. Hey, you can see some Bridget footage of her going for the grippers. Have you thought about gaining weight to get on Levon level? It's not about the weight gain. I will pursue that strength level, and what weight comes with it, or what weight doesn't come with it, doesn't come with it. But I'm not going to stare at the scale and be like, I'm not heavy enough to mess with Levon. I'll pursue that level of strength, and we'll see what I weigh, hopefully, by the time I get there, right? Carolyn says, Derek, he may want you out there every 2 weeks. He loves you. You don't mention other people to him. He loves you. You're his guy. Own it, Derek, please. Not a time to be gracious. If I go out there, I mean, it costs. It definitely wasn't the cheapest thing me and Bridget have ever done, but it was worth it, right? I mean, we paid for the whole thing, which is fine, totally fine. My initial email to Brian, I said I will foot the bill and I will come out there and teach you arm wrestling, no problem. But in terms of that being like repetitive, I don't know if I could afford to keep doing that, like on a regular basis. But yeah, I mean, I would love to go out there and work with Brian like whenever I can. Let's see. Boxman Derek told me I can. I asked, should I not try to help market this? Wait. Oh, are they talking to you? Devin's Farm, those videos you've been releasing are awesome, man. I love you doing these videos. That's great. I watched both of them. I watched the new one about Devin and Brian. Yeah, I got no problem with you chopping this up at all, bud. I think they're awesome videos. Javier Martinez says, oh, another super chat from Stephen O'Keefe. Another super chat. Thank you so much, man. Actually, that makes you the top donator of the day. Sorry, the super chats I got earlier, guys. I didn't update the top donator of the day. My bad. Stephen O with the we'll call it $10. The $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. You are the top donator of the stream so far. I appreciate you, and you're the first name that's ever been up in the new pot. You are the first guy in the new pot. Anyway, Steven says, do you know what Travis, John, and Devin are planning? I do not. I haven't talked to any of them besides Devin, and we didn't talk about Travis and John. I've heard through the grapevine, but not from any of them. So like fourth-hand information that somewhere people are filming something, like a show maybe, but I don't know any details at all. And this is me being 100% transparent with you. I don't know any of the details at all. But I've heard something about a show somewhere getting filmed. I know that, or potentially getting filmed. But that's all I've heard about, man. I wish I had more information for you. But thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate the support of the channel as always. You guys, thank you for all the super chats. I am undeserving. Javier, my teammate, says you should consider a new mic. Notable difference in clarity from the podcast. Well, is it better if I get real close to the mic, like this? That podcast, way more views on his channel than the other ones he's done. Yep. Need to do legs and get on a push-up train. Legs, Dave, you're crazy, man. Push-ups, yeah, you could. I could argue that I could start doing push-ups. Bridget says, I think your elbow to fingertip was 21. Does that sound right? I can't remember. I believe it was 21. 21 inches from the tip of my middle finger to my elbow. I believe it was 21 inches. I believe. And with Brian, in some ways, weight, why that's amazing. He don't have that much. And in some ways, weight, why is that amazing? I don't understand that message. I'm not reading it correctly. When you MC again, I need you on the broadcast. Hey, I love MCing, man. When they want me out there, I know in terms of East West, one, I've been out there 3 times. You know, I'm okay with other people getting the opportunity. I'm not trying to bogart that. Also, Ingen offered me a match, and I turned it down. Like I told you guys, I wanted to take some more time before I go back out there. So, because I turned that down, a lot of times Ingen likes to have people arm wrestle and commentate. You know, and since I wouldn't be arm wrestling, if you had me out there as a commentator, he'd be purely paying for my flight just to go hang out and commentate. So I understand, and I've done it 3 times, right? So, or I've been out there 3 times, commentated twice. So I understand the me not being a commentator right now. It's okay, but I definitely am down to do it more. $20 podcast or podcast. $20 super chat from Carolyn Looms. Thank you so much, Carolyn. You're amazing, and you take the top donator. Carolyn, you've never been so close to Chain before. This is your first time being this close to Chain. I'm excited. Carolyn, you're awesome. Carolyn. With the $20 super chat. Thank you, Carolyn. You're amazing. All right. Carolyn was talking to Bridget and me the whole time we were in Colorado. Carolyn says, Brian and Derek, hearts and hearts, because it's hashtag primal power. Carolyn, thank you so much. I know you've been real excited about the collab. You've been really supportive of it. And in general, you've always been super supportive of me. So thank you so much. You're awesome. Let's see. So I love skipping leg day. I can't wait to see Devin go see John Brink. Devin and John are going to be awesome. I pray they make a lot of videos. Are you headed to Utah to grip up with John/Travis and Devin this weekend? They're in Arizona, I believe. If they're going to John's house, it's in Arizona, in Phoenix. No, I have to work. I can't go. I just got back from this Colorado trip last night. I can't keep going everywhere. Is Devin meeting John Brink soon? Yeah, apparently he's going out to his house. When are you going to go against Levon? Oh, probably next week. If Brian starts arm wrestling, he'll become world champion. He's so huge. Yeah, he definitely has a ton of potential to do kind of whatever he wants. Let's see. One time I arm wrestled 500-pound guy. I lost. Is Brian the strongest non-arm wrestler you felt? Yes, he is. Not going to lie, you way excelled on the podcast, and one take made it easy for Brian. Derek, what a pro. Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn gassing me up all the time. Doesn't need weight, needs strength. There you go. Dave, thank you. I'm going to get shredded. Abs are coming. Do you ever do pull-ups? Yes. On my pulling days, I do pull-ups a few times a week, whether they're weight-assisted and or just free-hanging weight. But yes, I do pull-ups. What's your take on footage of Devin versus Prunick? That was crazy. I've talked to people that were there behind the scenes and saw everything, and it was crazy. I hope Brian helps you out to get out there. I'm sure he will. The Golden Connection, Brian and Derek. Which is why we need arm wrestlers to support the shop so we can pay for these things. Bridget's saying, in order for us to go back out there at Brian Shaw's channel or Brian Shaw's house to help get on his channel and stuff and help film for arm wrestling, please support the shop, guys. Go buy yourself a hat. Go buy yourself a sticker. Go buy yourself a T-shirt. And once again, shoot me some ideas, man. That's probably why Devin is going to SoCal. Yeah, he's definitely going to SoCal to collab with the guy that collabs Brian Shaw. I'm just messing around. I'm so excited that I got to do that. It's like getting back from Disneyland and still feeling giddy. I'm still in shock. Thanks, Derek, bro. Glad I can help. I hope my vids get people get people over to you and Brian and arm wrestling in general. That's my mission for doing all. Devin's Farm, dude, you've been awesome, man. I got no problems with anything you've done. So if anybody tells you otherwise, then they're lying. I'll tell you directly, man. So no, I appreciate you doing all the videos you're doing. If you guys aren't subscribed to Devin's Forum's YouTube channel, you guys go check it out. Post it in the post a link in here, please, of the videos and stuff you've been making. They're awesome. They have like Halloween theme with Brian Shaw getting into the sport. They're awesome clips. Let's see. Come to Devin's Forum, a hype video for the grip video. Oh yeah, Bridget wants you to make a hype video for the grip video. If you want, you could. If you want to see video of me doing grip, well, I have old footage on one of my old. If you go back, one of my original, I used to do the weekly vlogs. One of my vlog episodes from like way beginning of my YouTube channel, I did grip tournament. So you have footage there of me doing grip, and also when I went out to Larry's house, we filmed. I went to Bungeon with Botter and Khalid, and I did grip there. So you can get footage of me doing grip, and you can make a hype grip video, me and Brian, before he releases the grip video. That would be cool. That would be cool in forum if you want to do that. But yeah, those are the two places you can find videos of me doing grip and all the grippers I have here when you've seen those. But that'd be cool, and I'm sure you can find a ton of footage of Brian doing grip stuff. Come to Bob's tournament in November. Where's that at, Parker Kimber? Where's that? Maybe you can MC at the Arm Wrestling Uncensored 3 event. LOL. Since Texas Prana. I'll be out there, you guys. I'm going to be in Texas. I'll be in Houston November 5th. I believe it's November 5th. On a Saturday, I'll be out there hanging out for the Arm Wrestling Uncensored 3 event. Alex Gradeccia, Chance Shaw. I think Artem's going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people, a ton of people there. I'll be hanging out, having a good time. So, yes, check that out for sure. Michael says, I want you to be my coach. Dude, my goal is to retire, like when I'm done trying to be a competitor, an arm wrestling competitor. I just want to coach and train people. Like that's my passion. I love seeing people start to understand arm wrestling and get into it and fall in love with it and want to learn all the techniques and stuff and how and why things work. And I love seeing the passion in other people because I have that same passion. So teaching people, whether it's the basics or higher level stuff, and seeing even an experienced guy be like, oh, that makes so much sense, or oh, what a great idea. Like I love helping those light bulb moments come on, and I love seeing people, helping people fall in love with the sport that I'm in love with. So yeah, being a coach or being a trainer, like that's what I want to do until I die. GA says, I watched your full podcast. I left with 2 clear impressions. Number 1, if Brian enters the sport, it won't be half-assed. And number 2, he's seriously considering it. Do you agree? Yeah. Yes, I agree. Subscribing, he can be your coach. Oh, so this is a good time for me to mention the Game Train. You guys, 183 people in here. If you guys see my memberships, obviously there's two pay-per-view level membership, a boss level membership, and then there's a $100 level membership, which is called the Game Train, $100 a month. But what that is, it's for hardcore arm wrestlers, purely hardcore arm wrestlers who want to get into the sport. So what it does is, once you enter that level, then I'll do live streams where I purely training live streams for you for arm wrestling specific things. Like I'll do a whole live stream on just I've done one on just pronation. I'll do one on just shoulder commitment, on just really purely training live streams where I just break things down. And yes, you have those weekly. You have you upload a video to me on your channel and you send me the link. I will do a video breakdown once a month for you of your trainings, right? So you send me a video, a 20-minute video of you at practice or lifting weights or whatever you want to send me a video of. I will send it back to you, or I'll post it back on my channel in private with my face in the corner breaking down everything, like pausing the video and be like, okay, see how you didn't slide your elbow left here? You're gonna want to do that. And then, okay, you want to place your left pinky finger over on this side because it does this, like just breaking down the whole video for you. And then number 3, you get unlimited access to me in DMs and things like that. And so to answer any questions you may have and for me to help you out with your training and stuff like that. So it's $100 a month, but it's the best. People ask me for online coaching a lot. That's the closest I can provide to online coaching without dedicating my life to online coaching, which is a lot. And online coaching takes a lot of time. So that's the best I can offer right now. So if you guys want me to help coach, check out the Game Train level membership. You guys, sorry, I had to plug that at least once with everybody in here and people asking. Let's see. And if you do join it and for some reason I don't see it right away, shoot me a message and saying, hey, I'm on the Game Train level membership. I'll be, oh, all right, and we'll get started right away. Message me on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere. Thomas Miles, are you going to be involved in any of the Armed Gods events? I have been talking to, or me and Marcus Thompson have messaged back and forth a few times. He mentioned me going to Ireland in January. I've been a little bit busy to follow up and get into the details, but that sounds awesome. And I believe Bridget can go. And I've been wanting to go to Ireland my whole life. And he says he has a match with potentially with a top guy from over there. It sounds really enticing. So that's, yeah, me and Marcus, we're talking. And I believe it's an Armed Gods event, I believe. So, so kind of, yeah. Matty Boy says, I can see you being number one day, bro. You have a great mindset and, of course, amazing genetics, but great mindset for damn sure. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's a dream, man. You got to keep pursuing it for sure. Hope we see Devin and Brian grip up. Yeah. First, the Daisy says, please milk Brian hard. It must feel like bloodletting for him because you are the starting point for his second sports career. Have it gilded. Yeah, I hope Brian gets into it. I don't know if I'm going to milk him. But I will be there. I told Brian any questions or anything I can ever help him with in regards to arm wrestling or whatever, let me know. Devin's Forum, a hype video for it. Maybe put some old Brian grip stuff in Derek with the grippers. There you go. Justin Pascone says, hey, Derek, do you have Devin or Prudnick if it happens? I'm a Devin fan, so I'll go with Devin. Prudnick's amazing, and I am a Prudnick fan as well. But Devin, I'll go with Devin. Not often you see someone anywhere near Devin's been able to handle Devin. Yeah. Let's see. Derek, I wonder if Brian would consider opening up his event next year, the Shock Classic, with arm wrestling mini super matches, you versus someone. That would be cool. I'd be down. Now that Devin's planning to compete under 115 kg, now you think you can beat him? I'd love to find out. Hopefully he comes out here, we get on the table a little bit. Like I said, I've been taking a little bit of time off training, and but he's also been kind of beat up from arm wrestling up at Modesto and then with John. So we'll see how it goes if we get on the table. It's fun to see how starstruck and so professional throughout. Real skills right there. Yes, the Shock Classic needs a side table event where it's some arm wrestling for pros and AMs who show up. That would be cool. Love from Pakistan. Rehan Khan, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us, man. Seamus, Addy. If you guys are in here, you're not subscribed. That's weird, by the way. Subscribe, you guys. Subscribe to the channel. You guys click, the bell for notifications, all that type of stuff. Yeah, hang out with us. Yes, Shock. Oh, sorry, I read that one already. What time is it? We're hitting an hour right now. We got to catch up on the chat. Right now. We're 176 people in here, 139 likes. If we can get a like spike, I'd appreciate that, guys. If we can boost that up to about 160 in likes, that would be awesome. If you guys have not clicked the thumbs up icon, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. It helps out. Arm wrestling was a strongman event. Brian should pick it back up. Hey, that's funny you said that because it got a little bit awkward, right? We were filming. I think we were doing the table event or the instructional table video, and we're talking about strongman and arm wrestling. He goes, "Oh man," and I know all about this, right? I know all about that match where Power Man, what was it, Power Man? What they call him? Anyway, they had the arm wrestling match and I say I know all about it and I completely forget their names, but it's a famous match where he breaks the guy's arm, right? And Mega Man, I think they called it Mega Man. Anyway, but where he gets his arm snapped in half because they had arm wrestling as a strongman event, which is crazy. Because Magnus Carlsen, I think, was the guy, or Magnus. There's so many Viking names. Someone help me out in the chat. You guys understand? Anyway, there was an arm break video. Is the point? And Brian said, "Yeah, there used to be this match." And I go, "Yeah, it was a nasty arm break." He goes, "We'll put that arm break right in the middle of this footage of me and you arm wrestling." And I looked at Brian. And I looked at his YouTube, James, the guy that does the YouTube videos for him, and I was like, "Don't do that." He's like, "What?" I go, "In the arm wrestling community, we don't share and promote videos of people breaking their arms. One, arm wrestling already has a bad enough stigma where everybody's afraid to arm wrestle because of an arm break as it is. But also, like, you don't NASCAR drivers aren't constantly watching videos of NASCAR crashes. Like, we get it. We know what happens. We know what goes wrong. We don't need to have that in our brains all the time of people snapping their arms in half. We're already trying to get people over that stigma and over that fear." Much less sharing it on Brian Shaw's channel. I was like, "Brian, do not put that clip into this video." He goes, "I don't want to be breaking the first rules from the arm wrestling community." All right. We're not putting it in there. I said, "Man, you can't already backstab us, Brian. All right. We don't like those videos." Sorry. I had to go off a little tangent on that one. Who do you have, Prudnick or Devin? I have Devin. Hey, Derek just got here. How was Brian in the straps? We didn't get in the straps, sadly. I really wish we would have, but we weren't able to. It was awesome seeing Brian relate to you so much so easily. Great to see two great men have so much in common and relatable. Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn, I mentioned Carrie a few times. I don't mean to fangirl out on you, but yeah, Bridget was fangirling out on Carrie Shaw. It was funny. How did Brian feel compared to other beginners? Strongest beginner I've ever felt, for sure. Said that a few times. Bridget, okay. Love it. So nice you had fun and so open with them. What a blessing. Derek Smith, how is Brian's thickness? He thick boy. He doesn't have like a lot of arm wrestlers. If you guys are arm wrestlers, you grab the hand. This part of the hand, the top part is really thick, and the thumb is like really, really thick. He doesn't have that, but his whole hand is super muscly and built. I don't know. It's like built like a strongman hand, not like an arm wrestler hand, but it's thick and strong. Brian Chappelle, Big Laws. Do you reckon Cataract is number one NA right now? I think you forgot to mention him when Brian asked about the best in NA. XOL, Zol. I don't know. I'm sure I say your name. So, best in North America. I know you guys hate saying this. I know everybody hates on Mike. Devin still needs to lose in North America. So, until then, we can't just go based off of this guy beat this guy and this guy beat this guy, so this guy is worse than this guy. For me, who beats Michael and who beat Devin? Like, Jerry isn't going to suddenly top roll Michael Todd. Okay, right. So the answer to the King's move is this high posting hand control thing and climbing and straps up. Okay. Jerry hasn't done that to Mike. So I need to see that happen before I just put Jerry. They've had matches and Jerry's never done that. So to suddenly be like, oh, Jerry can do it now when he has never done it before, in my mind, I can't put Jerry over Mike. Also, Devin beat Jerry last time they arm wrestled. So I have Devin and Mike above Jerry in North America. If they had those matches. Now, I know Jerry went out there and did awesome, and I know that Jerry beat Gennady, and I get it. I get what you're getting at. But in terms of in North America, which is a whole separate thing from the North World Rankings, in just North America, it's just us and not counting any Europeans or anybody outside North America. I need to see those guys. I need to see Dave beat Mike, and Dave beat Devin, and Jerry beat Mike, and Jerry beat Devin. Like, I need to see that. You can't just to say they would beat them or they're above them without them ever doing it. I don't know. When they've had those matches and they've lost. So it's not just like they've never arm wrestled each other. They've lost to them. And so to suddenly be like, no, he's better than him, even though I still have Mike above them. I still have Mike above Jerry and above Dave. Only it's just a style thing. I get it, it's a style thing. I think they can be stronger, but I'm just saying stylistically, I need to see Mike I need to see Dave and Jerry beat Mike and Devin. I need to see it because it's never happened before, or at least it hasn't happened the last times they were arm wrestling. So I don't just look past that. To me. Love in Pakistan. What do you do for elbow pain fixation? Take your time. Ice, anti-inflammatories, rest. Bob Brown's tourney in Brazilian Cup in Utah. Bob has Gabby, Ron, others coming. Massive after poll also November 12th. I will be gone the weekend before that in Houston. And then there's a huge tournament in San Diego the same day as that. So I probably will not be able to make that. Let's see. Yeah, Bob's tournament's going to be sick. How does Brian feel compared to beginners? I already answered that. You have tons of coaching experience. The podcast showed me a lot about you. Thank you. He felt way stronger. So he felt like a 400-pound mammoth. Vitalis Lalas, old strongman, has his gym in Ireland near Marcus. He was a real arm wrestler back in the day. Derek Collaborator to strongman collabs. I know. I'll just go try to teach all strongmen how to arm wrestle. Justin Pascone. So thank you for answering. No problem. Hopefully I said your last name right. Victor says, imagine John Brzing teaching Brian, goat creates a monster. Yeah, I mean, everybody can give positive coaching. It's just some people are really good at doing and not the best at breaking it down and explaining it. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I know I'm good at articulating things and breaking down specifics of what's happening and why and how things work. I have a gift for that. And there's guys that are better than me that know more about arm wrestling than I do, for sure. I'm not saying I'm the top guy, but I'm good at, I can explain 99% of what I do and how and exactly why and how it works and how to train it and this and that. There's guys that can do more, but they might only be able to explain 50% of it, right? I can just explain a higher percentage of the things that I know. right, in detail. So I think that's where one of the things I kind of shine in is being able to explain things and make it more digestible for newbies and beginners. Um, yeah. I hope Javier says, I hope Brian does decide to pursue the sport and drags Eddie Hall and well. That video of those two arm wrestling would be epic. Yeah, it would. It would be super cool. Man, I was supposed to try to catch up to the chat. Damn it. Okay. Super mode. We're going to go super mode. I'm going to kind of skim through this. You guys, I only want to do this for an hour. I'm sorry I'm dragging you guys around for so long. Can you go into more detail about what Devin said on his phone call about Brian Shaw? The phone call was about Devin coming out here. It wasn't about Brian Shaw. We just very quickly for 10 seconds, 15 seconds talked about Brian Shaw. But that's not what the phone call was about at all. It was more about, oh, yes, I'll be coming through there. I'll hit you up. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'll let you know. That's what the phone call was about. Does this mean Shave Davey can get some plant food? Yes. Magnus stabbed his arm. Magnus von Magnuson says bacon gers. Yeah. And Ross Wright. Thank you guys. I clicked on the podcast where you were talking about Brian Shaw. I ended up listening to the whole thing. Hey. Devin spoke of Brian. Can't wait to see what happens with Devin and Derek next week. Legends collide. Would Brian Shaw beat Khalid? Not today, but Brian's on the table one time. I don't think he'll beat him right now, but with a little bit of training, he can very well be in that conversation. Happiness is to follow the last messenger. Carolyn E. What do you think of Colin and Schoolboy? I've never met Schoolboy, but I'm friends with Alex, Schoolboy's brother, and Alexandra, his wife. They're awesome people. I just feel for when his arm is completely straight. And I know that Colin won a couple of the rounds without doing that, but at the same time, when he's completely straight and underneath the table in a losing position and everything, and it's just like everything has failed. Everything besides the hand, the wrist had failed, and he's just hinging. Like, man, it's so hard for me to defend that. And like when I see Schoolboy trying to control all the necessary elements, and he has his chest involved, and he's trying to do conventional arm wrestling, and Colin is completely straight armed in a losing position with his wrist bent in. Like, it's so hard for me to be like, yeah, he's destroying Schoolboy right now. Like, he's literally his arm, he's just laying backwards. There's no muscle involved besides the wrist flexion. Like, it was just, for me, it's just hard to watch that, man. It's so hard to watch everything fail, all muscles fail, be in a losing position, which is in other rule sets is against the rules. Like, it just, oh man, that was rough. I felt for Schoolboy more than anything. Like, dude, that sucks, man. Like, that sucks. So that's my thoughts on it. I don't know. Like, and like I said, Colin's great dude. I've hung out with him. I interviewed him. That's my boy. That doesn't change my thoughts on how that match went. Doesn't mean I have anything against Colin. That match was like, man, yeah. Derek, will there be another meet and greet video on Brian's progress? Please keep us updated. This is so exciting. Yes, I'll keep you guys updated on everything, of course. We fly back out for a strap pull. I would love to. Would Brian Shaw beat Colin? Once again, there you go. Just give that answer. I think Cataract is number one because he beat Gennady, who beat Dave. I think Devin and Michael Todd are out of the world top 10, to be honest. And I understand how you get to that conclusion. I understand that. I just disagree. I don't know. I've seen them arm wrestle in the past with each other so many times. I would just need to see those guys beat those guys. Did you ask Brian Shaw if he would come on a live stream on your channel in the future? I did not. Cataract, I have it 3 to 4 in the world. Dave, maybe 7 to 8 in the world, says XO. Okay. Why would Devin be out of it at all? Because he lost to Levon? Well, and he's also really light right now. Dave will destroy Jerry, though. Yep. I mean, Dave has what's necessary to beat Jerry. He has the necessary strength. Okay. I'm trying to scroll down. Oh my gosh, it's boosting. Sorry guys, I'm probably gonna skip some of your messages. Veronica Knight, comprehension is a big deal. Steve, now that Brian is an arm wrestler, Eddie shouldn't too long to challenge him to a super match. That would be cool. Yes, but I don't think you necessarily have to be a specific guy to take a spot. Etienne Poisson says Derek have what we call world-class grip strength. Would be insane if he actually trained for arm wrestling. Oh, Brian have what? I don't know why I said Derek. Yeah, it would be crazy. You're talking about rankings. Big Laws versus Brian at King of Table 6. That would be cool. Brian has a lot to learn. Sarah Latoto, yo, what's up? What's going on? About to sign off here in a second. Trying to catch up to the chat. I don't like not being caught up by the time I sign off. Schoolboy also, Kings moved. Yeah, I mean, after everything failed, after he was holding Colin with a straight arm for as long as he could. I honestly think Brian Shaw can beat Colin already, says Victor. Okay. Derek, what are you going to call your new training camp to the stars. Buzzwords are everything. Remember when Brian asked about the Kings move? Yeah. Smash the like, subscribe, roster. Okay, I'm almost caught up. What's a fairly common arm wrestler that you could compare Brian's current form to? I believe Brian right now with a few more hours of table time and understanding, like so actual table time hours. So 2 weeks of practices. Brian's about as strong as my teammate Mega Mike, who's very strong. Mega Mike is number 2 in California, right armed, crazy strong dude. Brian's about at that level walking in. So very high level, guys. You guys on this chat know how highly I think of Mega Mike. That's my boy. It's my teammate. And Brian, yeah, I mean, understandably so, is walking into the sport with about that amount of power. Understandably, right? Yeah. What's a fairly common? What tournament is Brian Shaw doing first? He didn't say he's getting into the sport. He doesn't say he's getting into it at all, guys. So we'll just watch and see. We'll have to wait and see. How many people want to go to the gym tonight now from this news? Hi, Derek. Where's your money on Brian versus Khaled? So if it happened today, like right now, then Khaled's had more experience than Brian. And Khaled will drop to that King's move, and Brian won't know how to deal with it, things like that. In a year, then Brian, for sure. If Brian, trains for it or something like that. Even in 5 months of Brian training solid for it, I'll put up money on Brian. As well. And Corey McPhee says, did Brian say he will try arm wrestling and look for some free partners? Sorry if I missed the answer. He is interested in arm wrestling. He didn't give me an answer whether he's going to get into it or not. He did ask for the Colorado arm wrestlers contact info, so he has it. I want to see Brian sign up for some amateur pulling after 1 month of pulling, maybe. Yeah, it'd be cool. But he understands how many eyes are on him, just like Larry. Like, he can't just show up to a tournament and just arm wrestle. Like, if he gets crushed, it's the whole internet's going to blow up. Like, Brian has no potential. He can't do shit, right? So, like, he understands that, like, how much pressure is on him to do amazing right out the gate. And so I would expect Brian, he'll probably, if he competes, if he gets into arm wrestling, he probably won't compete for a little bit. I'm expecting him to take 4 to 5 months of heavy training. Brian's not going to just take it lightly. He's a big training guy, and I don't think he would compete until he feels ready. Although, I mean, I would advise him to compete as soon as he can, but I understand why he wouldn't. In terms of the pressure and everybody watching him, everybody in full bore. You'd probably have professionals entering the amateur class just to arm wrestle Brian. You know what I mean? So I don't want him to rush it. I want him to take his time and be confident in it. So, yeah. When's the last time you pulled Chance Shaw? It's been a couple years since he was out here for a practice, and we gripped up. We were both beat up before the practice, so yeah, it's been a while. Rich Curl Johnny says, with Brian and Kirill showing interest in arm wrestling, we might have 2 absolute specimens in the sport. Yeah, Kirill's a beast, man. Looks like he's already leveling up big time. How about Brian do a 6 months training in a pro comp? 6 months, if we'll say perfect training, then and it depends on the pro competition. You're talking about a local pro competition in Colorado, I think he could do really well, if not win the whole thing. If you're talking about like East versus West, then it's a different level. How was it like meeting Brian Shaw and staying with him? Dude, he's a super nice guy. We clicked really well. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been watching him so long that I've like adapted to his train of thought, and maybe I've morphed myself into like a mini Brian or something. But we clicked really well. I mean, we share a lot of the same perspective on things, training and strength sports, and I thought we meshed really well. And Carrie was a sweetheart. She was super awesome. And so was James, the videographer, and Crystal, who helps manage and run everything over there. They were a great team of people. And it was super cool chopping it up with Brian. It was super cool. Yeah. Let's see. Why the hell would he pick you to show him arm wrestling? Says Cheddar Bob TV. Exactly. No, but that's a legit question. That's a question I had, right? So I messaged him and I just laid it out. I messaged a few people, right? Brian Shaw was one of them. A long 4-paragraph thing, like, my name is Eric Smith. This is what I've done. These are my stats in arm wrestling. This is how long I've been arm wrestling. This is the video. I went out to Larry Wheels to Dubai and I helped teach Larry Wheels how to arm wrestle. I run my own team, blah, 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 blah. The whole thing, everything about me. And, and I gave him my current rankings. Nothing, I didn't lie about a single thing or embellish about a single thing. And he had been hit up by other people, and just his team were going through the emails and talking about different arm wrestlers, and they liked my vibe. They liked, that I'm super good looking. No, they just liked everything about my channel and me as a person in terms of what I was presenting. And and so they went for me. So, and I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I was bewildered as all heck too. But if talking about why the hell would they pick you to show them arm wrestling in terms of you lost to Morzov and you lost to Ravaz, okay, yeah, I did. That doesn't mean I'm not a really good coach and a good teacher at arm wrestling. And I don't understand it at a high level. I just wasn't strong enough to beat those guys, which we'll get there. We'll get there. They didn't do anything like insane where I'm like, oh, it was some crazy technique, blew my mind. They were just stronger than me. Like, that's it. Yeah. You tell them about the table persona, walk to the table like someone just punched your grandma. I don't walk to the table as if someone punched my grandma, but I have other thoughts. But yeah, I did cover that. The Azaroster says Brian has decades of strongman training, titanium tendons, and weights in cajillion pounds. If he can't show up to a tournament and just win, then I'm an adolescent kangaroo. But you got to remember, he's not an arm wrestler, and he doesn't understand how to put arm wrestling pressures in there yet, right? So if you think he's going to walk in and do this to everybody, then you're crazy, because that's not the most efficient and strongest way to arm wrestle, right? So that's the thing. But does he have a ton of muscle and strength? Of course, I'm not denying that. But if you think he should be able to do that and win every major pro tournament, then you don't know much about arm wrestling. Etienne Poisson says, I don't know if you can train for arm wrestling and strongman competition at the same time. Wouldn't it be risky to injure himself? Sorry, I'm French. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If he chooses arm wrestling, then as far as I understand, he's going all out for arm wrestling. Like it won't be strongman and arm wrestling. It'll just be arm wrestling, from what I understand, if he chooses it. Do you know Mark Felix? Yeah, Mark, crazy strong hand. Never met him, but yeah, that'd be really interesting to see him get into arm wrestling. I don't know why guys in the UK aren't teaching Mark Felix how to arm wrestle or sending him a million messages. Come on, guys, lock it up. Isaac Correa says, enjoy the podcast. Interesting to hear more about you before the wrestling. Yep. Thank you. Brian's work ethic is something else. If he really wants it, he will come very far. Yeah. Corey McPhee says, do you do any fun challenges or strictly arm wrestle while there on your best choice of teaching a person of his frame? Yeah, and we're the same size. I forgot to add that. Yeah, I'm one of the only guys around Brian's size or frame around it. I didn't say I'm as big as Brian. But yeah, we did the grip stuff. The grip stuff yesterday was a ton of fun. You'll see us going at it and testing our grip for sure. Do you think Brian dedicated 2 years to arm wrestling? Do you think he can beat Levon? No, not in 2 years. Scott Mendelson thought he would just show up and win. Didn't work too well for him. Scott was really strong. He had a lot to learn. I could talk to fly out to teach Brian the King's move. Stop it. What if Brian Shaw dedicated 2 years to running a 200-meter dash? Would he be the best runner? You need strong legs to run. Okay. You need to get Martine's Lisi's ears. I have Martine's phone number. I'm going to be hitting him up soon. I'm going to wait for all the videos to get released with Brian, and then I'll probably give Martine's a phone call. As a roster says, I think with back pressure and Brian's grip, he could drop anchor on guys even without understanding how to blend different pressures. He still has to learn how to arm wrestle, man. I gripped up with him. I'm telling you, he still has to learn how to arm wrestle. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, Justin Cobb, I'm trying to catch up. You guys are going so fast. I think I've heard Big Laws say that Mark Felix just doesn't like the one-on-one type sports. He's just not interested in arm wrestling. There you go. Jay Powell, can't wait to see Brian pulling against some arm wrestlers. Going to be cool AF, so much strength to start with. Yes. Zal says, if Brian the biggest puller you've ever faced, in all things considered, probably yes. And Justin Cobble says, LO's Big Laws. Thank you. All caught up in the chat, guys. I'm caught up. I know you guys are going to keep commenting. But it's been an hour and 20 minutes, guys. I wanted this to be a short one. So thank you so much for hanging out. You guys, that was the update. Sorry we didn't get back on the table, and I can't tell you much about the grip stuff. But the video should be dropping fairly soon, as soon as they're able to edit them and get them on the channel. We'll see what that means. If you guys, when those videos come out, please share them, comment in the video, do whatever you can to blow those videos up. Not just for me, but it's arm wrestling. Let's push it out there that Brian Shaw is learning how to arm wrestle, right? I think it's just big for the whole sport. So check those out. Obviously, check out my Linktree link that we've been sharing in the chat, and the awswitch.com, which is the clothing line that Bridget and I have launched. It's all awesome stuff, hats, shirts, and stickers. I appreciate you guys' support as always. Go out there and be great. I'm going to steal Brian's line. Go out there and be great, you guys. I love you guys to death. Thank you for the support. You guys are amazing, and I'll talk to you guys next Wednesday at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'm out here in California, 4:30. I will see you guys around. Thank you guys for sharing the links, and I'll talk to you later.